Hello there, and thanks for tuning in once again. And this fly today, I'm going to tell you another muddler minnow pattern. And this is just one of my own patterns here, and I just simply call it the rabbit strip muddler. It's tied with a zonker rabbit strip and krystal chenille and the regular collar and head on a muddler for a muddler. And this particular one I tied with the brown and blackbird rabbit strip. And you can change it up in a variety of different colors with the different rabbit strips, the body color, and the deer hair as well. So I thought you might like to see this particular pattern, so I'll get him out of the vise, a new hook in, and I'll get started here. The hook, I'm tying him on a size 6, 9671, and I'll get that locked down the vise here. Okay. And for thread today, I'm using something a little different. It's a nanosilk 30D. It's a GSP thread, but it's fine, but very, very strong. And it's quite slippery, so I'm going to take a little bit of, before I start the thread on the shank, I'm going to take just a little bit of super glue and just dab a little bit on the shank there. Just like so. Before I start the thread on here. So I want to start back about 3 eye lengths behind the eye, and then we're going to wrap back towards the bend here. Just like so. Okay. A little bit farther back. The stuff's quite hard on your scissors, so I just use what I do is use a razor blade to make my cuts. Well, actually this razor blade doesn't seem very sharp at the moment, so there we go. Okay, now we'll come back to about the barb there, and we'll stop our thread there. Now, first thing we'll do, I have another rabbit strip measured out here, and cut the length. And what you do is bring it back, and you don't want the tail to come out too far. I usually want it to come back about the length of the hook, and then just take your fingers and wet them and pull that hair back, just like so. Then that way you can come up around with your thread, cinch it down 2 or 3 turns, and you want to make sure it stays on top, so just checking that before I really cinch it in there. And just keep your fingers wet, and you can move that around out of your way. Now I really want to bind that in there good this time. So I'll take 3 or 4 wraps there. Okay, just adjusting it, see how it looks there. Okay, that's pretty much right on top, right where I want it. Okay. So next step, I'm just going to fold that back. I'm going to wrap back on it a little ways here, just to cinch it in there, just like so. Keep coming back tight against that rabbit strip. I'll stop there. Just check it, make sure it didn't move on me. Still right on top where I want it, so that's good. Alright, next step is I have some small krystal chenille here, and I'm going to just bring my thread back to the front here where I started the thread, tie this in, and then just wrap it all the way back to right in front of that rabbit strip, nice and tight against it, just like so. Then back forward. Okay, and we'll stop our thread there. Okay, and I'm going to take a little drop of before I wrap that, I'm going to take a little drop of head cement here, dab some in there. Okay, now I'll begin to wrap this. I'm going to get hard against that rabbit strip. Just pull it back, fibers back as I go. Each wrap I take, I'm going to pull the fibers back. Just like so here. Okay. Just keep wrapping forward. Okay. tie off point here. And I'll make one more turn. And I'm going to tie this guy off. Okay, a couple wraps there, a couple in front. And we'll snug him in there, and then we'll snip the excess off. Nice and close. A couple more securing wraps there. Okay, next I'll take the rabbit strip. And I'm going to pull it nice and tight here. Just going to wet that so it will stop moving around on me there. Okay. Just going to pull it nice and tight. Just like so here. Then I'm going to come around. Make a couple loose wraps. Keep it in place right on top, then tighten down. And I'm going to 3 or 4 more nice tight wraps. And there's our wing tied in. It's right on top where you want it. Just going to slick that back there. Alrighty, so I'll come in with my scissors and snip off the excess here. Try to get it on an angle, more or less. Okay, and I want to really bind that down nice and tight. That's one thing about this nanosilk 30D, it's really fine. You can get lots of tight wraps in there without too much bulk. That's one thing I like about it. Alright, now our last step is to do the head on our muddler. So I have a clump of here and already in the stacker here. I'm just going to even it up. Even the tips up. I'm going to pull that out of the stacker. Got nice even tips there. I'll grab those. Okay. Now I want to measure that up, but I want to clip it first. It's a little, don't need quite that much length for this guy, so I'm going to snip the ends off. And I want those tips to come back to about the hook point usually, so I'm going to tie that, hold that clump right on top, so it'll just spread around, wiggle my fingers a little bit, come up around, make 1 loose wrap, 2 loose wraps. I'm going to pull down. Before I cinch down really tight, I'm just going to make sure that's spread all around the hook evenly. Just got to come down on that side a little bit more, just wiggle it a little. It looks pretty good. Now I'm going to cinch it down. And now I'm going to come up around and wrap through those butt ends there. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. I might want to just even it out just a little bit more. That's not looking too bad right there, so. Alrighty, so now what I'll do is just come in and give this all a nice hard pull back. So pack it in with my fingers. Bring my thread up around, get a wrap or 2 there. Then I'm going to pull it once again, nice and tight back. Alright, that gives me enough room there to tie off that way, so snip that excess fiber. Now all I got left to do is bring in my whip finish here. Just hold that here all back with your fingers. Come in with the whip finisher. Whoops, I don't know what happened there, folks, but just a little malfunction, but I can save that. No big deal. Just gonna catch that thread. There we go. And I'll just cut off the 2 ends here. Alrighty. And we'll get back to business here. Bring in my whip finisher. And get a 3 or 4 turn whip finish on there. Snip that in nice and tight. Come in and snip that with the razor blade here. Just like so. And I'm going to come behind that with a shot of head cement on the thread wraps. Let that soak in good. Okay, that part's done. So all we got left to do now is to clip this guy. So I'm going to bring in my curved scissors here and we'll start trimming this guy up. Just go around. Just work it all the way around here to start forming the head. Just like so. Okay, starting to take shape there now. Okay. Snip off these two pieces here. Okay. Trim a little bit more, then I'll take it out of the vise to finish it up. Alright, now I'm just going to take them out of the vise for a second here, just to fine tune it. Just bear with me, folks. Just takes a little time. It's easier to take it out of the vise to finish it up, so that's what I always find to do trimming muddlers or any derriere fly. Okay. Just take your time on your trimmings, all. Try not to. The worst thing you can do is take too much hair off, which can happen. Sometimes it's hard to know when to stop trimming. It just seems to happen that way sometimes. Okay, so I just got a few more cuts to make. And it'll be a done deal here. Just a few more. Okay. Just about done, folks. Alrighty. Just a couple more final cuts here. Just trimming around the base of the collar. Okie dokie. Okay. There it is. I got them trimmed up good enough for this for now. Stick them back in the vise here. And there we have it. It's another size 6 rabbit strip muddler. One thing about it with the rabbit strip, this muddler has lots of action in the water. As you know how good rabbit strip has for when it's going through the water. It moves really good. Good fish attractor. So anyway, I'm just going to take my head cement and give it one more little shot of glue there on the head. There we go. Let that soak in a little bit on the bottom. There. Check the eye for any glue. That's fine. Just gonna slip that back a little bit there. Anyway, there he is. Not a hard muddler to tie. So, I hope you enjoyed seeing this fly tied up this time. And I want to thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you'd like to see more on the flies in the future, just hit that good old subscribe button. Really appreciate that a lot. And until next time, happy tying out there. I'll see you again soon. And so long for now, folks.